Yes, indeed, winter is right around the corner, and that's why I want to talk about the Enlightened equipment Stronghold Mittens. Stronghold is a cool name, but everything else about these mittens is super warm. I picked these up last winter, and I have been so impressed and happy with these mittens. My fingers get super duper cold, even in moderate temperatures, and these things have kept me warm on any kind of winter hike. These are super light. They weigh between 1.1 ounces and 2¼ ounces, depending on the size, the insulation type, and the interior material that you choose. These are made with ClimaShield Apex insulation. It's a synthetic insulation that, like most synthetics, does still retain most of its warmth even when wet. And you can choose between 2 ounce per square yard Apex or 4 ounce. The 4 ounce being both heavier and warmer. I opted for the 4 ounce per square yard because, like I mentioned, my fingers get really cold and I wanted to get the warmest thing possible. But the heavier insulation actually doesn't add a whole lot of extra weight, only ½ ounce extra for a size medium if you go with the 4 ounce Apex. The shell is made out of a 20D nylon material, and the palm is made out of a thicker 70D for more abrasion resistance. Now, even though the palm is thicker, I still wouldn't recommend going out and collecting a bunch of firewood with these things. I think it would just tear it up to death. And the inside is made out of a softer 10D nylon, which is the same nylon that they use for their quilts. They have a cinch cord on either side so you can cinch down the mitt around your wrist. These are big enough to use with a liner. I typically use my Possum Down gloves, which I love. And when you use them in conjunction with each other, my hands are super, super toasty. And just like pretty much all the products from Enlightened equipment, you can customize the colors that you choose. I went with a very boring black on the outside and gray on the inside. And these things pack down nice and small. Ha! They probably don't pack down as much as, say, a down mitt, but that's still pretty tiny. And they don't really have to take any time to loft up. The loft is pretty much instant on these things. So how warm are these things exactly? Well, it's kind of hard to say because warmth with your hands is pretty subjective, but I will say this. I have used these things down into the single digits, and it doesn't take a long time for my fingers and my hands to warm right up. So are these things the warmest mitts out there on the market? No, probably not. But warmth per ounce, I think these things are definitely a contender. Even just standing here talking to you for a few minutes, my hands are already getting pretty warm. So as far as likes and dislikes are concerned, I like that this is pretty much exactly what I was looking for in a mitt. It's warm, it's light, and it's simple. I didn't want something that was overly complicated or huge or something I couldn't squish down into my pack when I'm not using them. So this really checks off all the marks that I wanted on a winter mitt. As far as dislikes, there's really only one thing that I think could be improved about this mitt, and that would be to have the ends of them be tapered so they could fit over your coat a little bit easier. The way that they're cut now, since they're straight, they don't have any taper to them whatsoever. When you put them on, it pushes pushes your sleeve of your jacket up a little bit. So you have to kind of try to work it over there or just kind of bunch it up against there. If it was tapered, it could go over your jacket, and then you can just cinch it down with the included cinch cord. That's really my only dislike about these mitts, although I do have one more suggestion, and that would be to make a version with fold-back mitts so that you can have quick access to your digits. I would really appreciate that. I'm sure a lot of other people would too. So Enlightened equipment, if you're watching, please go ahead and make a fold-back version. I will buy a pair. Well, that about does it. Hope you stick around another minute for bloopers. Leave me any questions in the comments field. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, have fun out there. And also provide something. Make some awesome... This is going to be like a 10-minute blooper reel. Conjunction with each other. No! Let's start over.